Well, it's Punters Inside Run, and it's Christmas Day for punters. And one man who dresses up as Santa Claus 365 days of the year just because he can is Mick Sharkie. Hello, Shark. It looks as though you're outside enjoying some sunshine, but it is Derby Day, so naturally we're excited.
G'day, Matty. Yeah, I am. I'm up on the farm today at Leneva Park. Beautiful day up here. Not a cloud in the sky, like literally not a cloud in the sky. And looking forward to a fantastic Derby Day. And, of course, a $10 million Golden Eagle in Sydney.
Yeah, we'll cover off the Golden Eagle shortly. We've got lots to get through. Let's hope we get a bit of sun over the carnival. The weather looks okay at this stage. But let's start with the Derby. We've got a short price favourite. Riff Rocket blew them away last time by over 5 lengths, but it's very short priced. Is that where you want to play with the favourite? I mean, or you're looking for some value away from him?
You know me, Matty. I always like to try and look for something at a bit of a price. But, gee, I reckon there's a long, long tail to the Derby this year. I really do. I think there's some horses in this race that are pretty one-paced and they're really hoping something goes wrong with the favourite in running or he doesn't run the trip out to be beating him. I know it was turned over at $1.35 last time at Caulfield, Riff Rocket, but it was a pedestrian tempo, and I think he probably wants more of a test than what he had that day. He only got beaten a nose as well. It's not like he got pants by 10 lengths or anything like that. So the $1.35, forget about the price and just look at him off that run into this, a race with, you would assume, a stronger pace. I think he's absolutely the horse to beat. It's just a matter of whether you want to play at the $2. I was really keen on Verdad before he hopefully didn't run himself out of contention in the Vars last week. He went too fast in front, got a bit keen there and got running. Hopefully there's some petrol left in the tank for this race. I think he's a natural stayer. A Pooley is the other one. That's obvious, isn't it? And I think they're your big three. And then for a value sort of pick in the race, got to think of what Frankel's doing globally, with horses over any distance. Gates, number 8, is a horse with a lot of ability. I think he'll stay all day. He's probably the one at odds, but Riff Rocket, he's got to be the top pick for me, Matty. I'm just hoping we get better than, the even money thereabouts, the 220, 215. Hope we get better than that, near 250 on race day.
Yeah, look, I think it's the horse to beat. But like you, I might back Verdad each way, hoping that they've learnt from that run in the Vars, that they don't lead. Interesting, they put Jai McNeil on, and Jai McNeil, has a pretty good record in these staying distances at Flemington. It gets them to relax and settle, and then uses the big straight. So I'm hoping maybe Verdad as an each way play. But you're right, the fave could easily beat him. But I don't want to entertain $2.15 at the moment. We go to the Coolmore Stud Stakes. We know how big this race is. I'm looking for some value here. What do you think? I mean, it's always a great race, and it's a stallion-making race. Or some fillies have been winning it lately.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Some fillies have won. Sunlight was a really good winner of the race going back a few years, in secret as well. First of all, Guinea's form back to 1,200. No. Big no for me. You look back at history, no horses. They're not completing that double. It's not a Guinea's afterthought. Oh, let's try it. The Coolmore. We didn't win the Guineas. We're not a stallion yet out of that. Let's have a go at the other stallion making race. It just doesn't work. So the Golden Rose, they can bounce out of that. The Everest, of course, is the best sprinting form line going around. So Cylinder and Shinzo come into calculations on that. Of the two, I think Cylinder's got absolutely the better form lines.
Yes.
He's absolutely flying this horse. His run in the Golden Rose was great. His win in the Run to the Rose was really good. And then the Everest run was super as well. In saying that, he's not the dominant 3-year-old sprinter. He was sort of winning by small margins at Caulfield and at Rosehill before the Golden Rose. So I still think there's an opportunity to have a bet around him. I reckon number 16, Nadal, is a really live each-way chance in this race. Gets back, hits the line hard. He was a really good run going into the Golden Rose in the Run to the Rose. And then he got into the Golden Rose and got into all sorts of trouble there, into traffic, got knocked off his line, has since trialled really well down the straight at Flemington. Maybe a horse like Nadal can run a big race at a price, Matty.
I'm going for Philly and Stretton Angel around that $12 mark. Been racing really well down the straight, ready for the 1,200 now. It won the Group 2 Danehill. And as we mentioned before, 3 of the last 5 editions of the Coolmore have been won by fillies, and she's already proven she can mix it with the colts. But a bit of an each-way play for me there as well, looking for some value. Last big race we'll look at is the other Group 1, the Empire Rose. Where did you land here?
I'm going with a horse that probably the name doesn't apply to us during Cup Week, Matty. Number one, alcohol free. I think
That's
like
true.
she's come with a big price tag, being bought from the UK by Yulong to come out here, $10 million Australian or something ridiculous they paid for her. She's a multiple Group 1 winner. She's a superstar in Europe, right? We just haven't seen it over a shorter trip yet in Australia. She was better in the invitation last week, getting to a mile's even better again. Opie Boston from a good gate. I think she's super hard to beat here. Now, there was a horse last week we backed in that invitation at a price. You might remember number 15, Osbred Flirt. Really unlucky last week in that same race. I didn't get clear till late, was picking up ground really well. I like the prep. Fourth up here, I think she can peak. Gate 9, I think she'll run a really big race at around about 30 to 1.
I'm going with a tissue. Forget the last run. Go on the 2 runs prior to that. They were excellent. And going back to last time, had a couple of good runs at Flemington, including this race, and then going on to win the Matriarch. So I'll go with the tissue. I'm actually going with a few McDonald runners. I think James McDonald's going to have a fairly big day to kick off the carnival like he did last year. Anything else we should be backing at Flemington before we move to the Golden Eagle?
Yeah, let's have a look at the Wakeful. Race 5, number 5, Amazonian Lass at around about $10. I love her prepping up towards an Oaks. I think she's a big, strong, on-speed sort of horse that'll get forward here in the Wakeful, give a really good sight. She'll stay on well. And when they go to the Oaks on Thursday, I think if she runs the trip, they'll have a really hard time running her down.
All right, let's get to the Golden Eagle then. A $10 million race. I've landed on the New Zealander Legato, which had the hit-and-run mission in autumn to come across and win the Australian Guineas, and been racing really well in New Zealand. The New Zealand form has stacked up of late. Every time they come across, they seem to go well, and this is a nice horse, and it won't hurt the fact that we might get a soft track at Rosehill on the weekend. Where did you land?
Yeah, she embarrassed them, didn't she? Legato, she gets through all conditions, so she's right up there. I think you're getting a good price too. The Japanese horse, Obam Barumai. Try and say that after an non-alcohol-free day, Matty. He's a really, really good horse with a really good turn of foot. Importantly, he's seen soft ground before in Japan, and he's run really well on it. So,
which is rare for the Japanese, as we know.
It is rare, yeah. He's a Group 3 winner on a soft track, so he does handle it okay, it would seem. Japanese horses in Australia just go well. So I think Obamba Rumai, for me, at $10 each way, again, bit of a theme for the day, isn't it?
Arigato gozaimasu for that one there. What else in Sydney, mate? Have you got something else we should back?
Well, I reckon if you're having a multi, I think your banker, you build your multi around think about it, don't you?
A multi-anchor, if you like. Hey, you scratch my anchor.
I think you just anchor everything around think about it. The Everest winner, such a great winning record, arguably getting to his better trip now, 1,1400 metres. You'd think that's where he's in that sweet spot looking at his Queensland form through Stradbrokes and the like. So I think he's the bet in the Sydney Stakes. Other bet I want to have, race 1, get it early, number 5, Love Shuck.
Love Shuck, yeah, like it.
Hey, just no luck last week. I was watching the races on the couch with Dad last week, and we watched this thing, and he said, what's this on the rail? It can't get out. And it didn't get out at all. I think it ran the last 400 metres, hemmed in on the fence, and it was in the market. So it goes around again this week. Why not? It basically didn't have a run last week. So, yeah, Love Shuck in the first.
Yeah, went to the rail, and there was a sign there for the jockey, stay away, fool, and the Love Shuck went the wrong way. It's the worst joke I've done in 20 years. All right, mate. So our multi-banker is think about it. So won 11 out of his 12. He's a superstar, so we'll stay with that. And, we're saying the favourite's going to be hard to beat in the Derby. Where will you be, mate? Are you heading out?
I'm not, Matty. I'm at home on the couch with a few friends. Yeah, a bit of a do round at Shark Towers. So it's become a Derby Day tradition. That's where I'll be.
All right, mate. Enjoy the weekend. Happy punting. You're in form. And we'll talk about the Melbourne Cup. There'll be a special Punters Inside Run Melbourne Cup edition coming out very, very soon. Thanks, Shark.
Good on you, Matty.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.